Hello and welcome back to In Stitches with Jackie. If you're new, welcome. I am normally not in front of the camera, but today I decided it's a day off and I am getting ready to start the general store block. So I stayed up kind of late last night and it was nice because I had today off anyway, so why not? So today I'm going to start the general store. I'm trying to get these blocks done. I want to get this project completed by the 4th of July. It's going to be for me, so I'm not on any kind of deadline other than wanting to look at it lit up on my couch when for the 4th of July. So let's get started. Okay, going to get started here. And I have a feeling, yep, I don't know what's going on with my my machine here, but I have one of these longer cords. I don't put my USBs directly into the USB port. I have this longer one, but I've noticed that it's not loaded. Why is it doing that? Like, this never used to happen before, you know, and now it seems like it's like not reading it. Now, I don't, it could be the cord. Maybe I have to get a new one. All right. So I need to find the cottage, and it's not on this page. It's got to be on the previous page. There's that. This is the general store. That's the one I'm going to do today. That's another involved block. It has a ton of just a ton of steps. So it looks like it's going to be a 52-minute stitch out. It's going to be 47 color changes, and it's going to be 29,252 stitches. And I have my 9.5 by 9.5 loaded with a light mesh cutaway stabilizer. Let me just get this in here a little better. It's nice to have a day off, but I feel like for a holiday, but I feel like I had so much to get done today, and I feel like I got a lot of those things done, but there's still so much I could do, and I'm like, I think I'll just leave it for another day. Oh, I didn't kind of pulled my thread out there. Let me get this threaded. So again, with this one, I put a little packet together because this has a lot of steps. All right, so I have my marshmallow, which is my King Star marshmallow in the machine. And today is Thursday. And what time is it? I always got to do that. It is 3:40. I'm estimating 3:40, 4:40, probably going to finish this probably 5 o'clock. I was able to get my block 3 done yesterday. If you watched that video, we stayed up till 11:30 in the evening. And yeah, when you make a commitment to do an involved block like this and you're making that commitment later on in the evening, you better be prepared to stay up late. Oh, I hope that all that noise from they're out there cutting grass, doing whatever it is they're doing. I live in a townhome, and you know, I feel like when they come to do the lawns around here, it's like an all-day thing. And I get it. They have a lot to do, but all right, so I'm not even saying anything. I am doing the background quilting. Let me stop this. I am doing the Kimberbell background quilting. So my first steps are a placement line, and then now it's going to be a tack down for the batting, and that's going to go around twice. Let me adjust this a little better. That stitch is going to go around twice. Once it gets this batting all secured, I'm going to cut all the extra away and get ready for the quilting. Ooh, I put that one a little close. I was saying last night that I had a lot of problems with scissors last night. I mean, I had like 7 pairs of scissors out there. And I was really not happy because the ones that I really liked, I think I was always mispronouncing it. I can't find them. I don't know what I did with them. So I've been using the Kimberbell, not good. Another pair that I recently purchased, not good. And then the pair that I got from Amazon was better, but it's a bigger pair and not good for smaller applique pieces. Like the fire station, I am looking forward to making this block. All right, this is done. I'm gonna go to the table. I'm gonna trim it up. I'll be right back. Okay, now it is going to do the that little stitch that goes around, like the 1/4 inch. First piece out of here. I do have my background. This is cut 8.5 by 10.5, and I do have my SF101 on the back. I put SF101 on all my pieces unless it's the embroidery leather. I do not put any type of adhesive. I don't even want to go there. All right, this is going to stitch the tack down, and then it is going to do the quilting. Okay, that has finished up, and now I am looking to see what is going to be next. So it looks like now tack down and then the placement. So stitch the foundation tack down line, trim fabric close to the stitch line. So the foundation. So I have to believe that it's this one here, but let me double check. I am going to also advance. Let me show that I am going to advance again. So we need to stop that and no tack down, and now we're where we need to be. Again, this is being called a foundation line. Let me check and see what fabric this is. Okay, took me a little bit. But this first tack down is going to be for this piece of fabric, which is 5.5 by 1.5, and it's being called the foundation. This is for the general cottage. I mean the general store. I don't know why I want to keep calling it general cottage. It's the general store. So the general store. So now I'm going to put this down. Don't need any tape. Again, I have SF101. I do not have any type of adhesive on here. It's not, Kimberbell doesn't say that you have to. I will repeat that I never have used any type of steam-a-seam or, you know, anything like that to any type of adhesive. You could. I think it would be you know, it's just another added expense, and I don't think that it's really necessary. If it was, Kimberbell would say you had to do it. Kimberbell will tell you to put the what did that hit on? They'll tell you to put the SF101. So let me see. This is up high enough, it looks like. So let me see, where is that gonna go? I think this is the placement line for the front of the house. Anytime I can do a couple of tack downs, uh-oh, messed up there. Okay, I am starting this over. I didn't trim that. I thought that it wasn't going to go that far down. I'm not quite sure why, but it wasn't a big deal. I had a couple of stitches to take out, and then I just trimmed it up like I was supposed to before I attempted to stitch that, because it's going over that. Okay, this is another piece of fabric. I do have SF101. I always cut it smaller on these too, because it's really hard to see which side has that on. But I could see that that is the side. Let me get this lined up well enough. Oh yeah, plenty of space there. Okay, that finished up. I'm gonna take that over to the table and trim that up, and it looks like the next part is going to be like the awning and some type of thing on the roof there. But we'll go through those, what they are. Okay, so this is step number 7, and it is the, it's gonna be the placement line for the roof, and it looks like the top of the roof and then like the roof down here. It's gonna be one piece of fabric for that. This is the roof fabric. Alrighty. Let me get some of this stuff off. I do have this again backed with SF101. Just gonna make sure I have enough to go down there. Make sure that it's covering up on top. I'm gonna keep the same thread in. This does not matter. This is just the tack down now. And this is gonna go around twice in both sections. All right, that finished up. I'm gonna go and trim all of that away. And another thing I have to do is change my needle, but I'm gonna wait until I have to change the color. So let me see, number 9, I'm gonna stitch the door placement. The door is gonna be red. Again, I can still keep this color in because it's not any finishing stitches. It's just the placement and tack down. So I'll be right back. Okay, now it's gonna do the placement for the door. The placement for the door is the stitch door placement line is step number 9. Number 10 is the tack down. I'm gonna slide that under there. This is a pretty small piece, so I'm just gonna let this stitch out. Okay, and then it says trim close to the stitch line. Okay, now this is all gonna be the window placement lines. I mean, it's going to, I'm keeping the same color in. It's not gonna matter. It's gonna be very simple, very easy to see. This is gonna be a big piece that's gonna go on there. So, but I'll tack down. So it's going to be, there's 3 windows up on top, and there are 2 plus 1 on the door. Okay, the tack down line for all the windows has completed, and now I am going to put down just this one big piece of fabric here. Make it nice and easy. It's gonna do all of the windows here, and I will take and put a little bit of tape on here. Okay, I got that down with some tape, and now we're gonna start up these placement lines. Okay, so it finished all the tack down. So let me see, stitch the window tack down. That was step number 12. Step number 13 is, and then let me see, and then 12 is tack down and then trim the fabric. Number 13 is going to be stitch the siding details on the building. So I'll have to check that, but let me trim this all away. Okay, I wasn't sure what color to pick for this one. It is it's step number 13. Stitch the siding details on the building. It shows a dark color, so I'm selecting a gray, and you can look on the screen here. It's going to stitch kind of like, well, kind of where it looks like bricks or something. I'm not sure. But I decided to go with the gray. I was going to go with a beige, but I'm going to do beige, the fence and the side, you know, it's going to go, the coffee one is the one I'm going to select for the rest of it, this one. So I'm going to stitch this in the gray. I guess you could put any color you wanted on this one. You want something that's contrasting, right? Because everything is just plain right now. So yeah, so I'm going with that gray color. And that's gonna do all that detail. Okay, that detail quilted. That didn't take very long. Now it's going to be the windows, and it looks like it is more of, I'm gonna use the this coffee. I love this coffee color, so I'm gonna use this for the windows. I'm also gonna use it for the siding, the roof satin stitch. Okay, I have the coffee loaded in there, and it's gonna start stitching the window frames. This little piece here. So this is stitching the ledge. So I am going to put gray back in here, just for a little contrast there, because there's a reason why they stitched it all the way around on these and stopped here. So it looks like it's going to be a satin stitch ledge across. And I'm going to put this antique silver by Hemmingworth back in, antique silver. Okay, this is going to start the satin stitch for the window ledges up on the second floor there. Okay, that finished up, and I think I'm going to change the thread to white because now it's time to put the vinyl on. And I am going to tack that down with white. Loaded in the white, and as I did before, I leave the plastic on the vinyl until I am ready to place it down, because make sure that there's nothing, there's a little piece of something there, but that's not a big deal. Make sure that there's nothing sitting on your windows there. But I wait right before I take this off and take it straight to here, so it doesn't have a chance to get a bunch of junk on it. Let me get some tape, and I do like to tape this in place, although I say all the time I am not a tape fan. This, I think, is one of those times that I do utilize it. This one seems, this block today, it seems like it's going so much better than yesterday. It's so many problems yesterday. I stayed up late, and yes, I had a martini when I was done stitching, because the fire truck, the fire station stressed me out, and my scissors really stressed me out. All right, we're gonna get stitching this. Oh, geez. The presser foot, lift the presser foot button. Oh, well, yeah, lower it. Okay. All right. I love this color green. I have so much of this Sweet as Candy vinyl from Kimberbell. I have the green, I have the red, and I have a ton of the clear vinyl. I absolutely love it. Don't make the mistake like me. I bought a big roll of it on Amazon and it was not the 12 gauge. You have to have the 12 gauge. If you use something that is not 12 gauge, now I don't know if the numbers go up or down in vinyl, but I bought some and it was sticking to the project. Like it did not look well. So make sure you always follow the instructions and do the 12 gauge. There's some things that you can't buy on Amazon, and the vinyl was one of them, or at least what I bought. What I bought is what you put on like picnic tables or something, and I have a whole roll of it. I am going to trim away all this extra vinyl, and I will be, the windows are all trimmed up. Look at how nice they look. Oh, it looks like this might be a little, it's so funny that you can't see things till you're here, and it looks like this one needs a little more trimming up. Let me do that while I can see it here. It just looks like it's really, oh yeah, there was way too much left on there. Where did that little piece go now? Oh, it's right there. Okay, so now it's going to be the satin finish on the building, the satin finish. So I loaded my marshmallow back in there, and we're gonna get that started. House is starting to come together, or I'm not sorry, the general store. The general store. Okay, now it's gonna stitch, I put the coffee back in, and it's gonna stitch the porch railings. Okay, that concludes the railings, and now it's just going to I'm going to put some gold in here. It's going to do the lights, the porch lights. And now it's going to be porch light details. Porch light details. I'm going to use my fine line for that because it is going to be some small stitching, and I just feel like it will stitch that a little clearer, a little better. So let me put that in. Okay, I have that loaded in, and now we're going to get this stitched. Not thinking this is going to take very long neither. Okay, so the next step is going to be the porch pillars, and it's going to be a big piece of, these are just the placement lines. So I'm just going to leave this in for the placement line. These are going to be the placement line for the pillar, which is going to be a piece of white leather, and then I'll just put the white in when I'm doing that. And then after that, it's going to be the satin stitch for the roof line. Okay, I got the leather on there. I got my white thread in here, and now it is going to do the tack down for the pillars. is finished. I'm going to take it to the table. I'm going to cut all that extra leather away. And the next step is going to be putting the coffee back in, and it's going to do the satin stitch on the lower roof and the roof line. Yeah, I put the coffee back in here. I was just looking at this because, let me see, what stuff is this? So this is, let me see. This is step 23, stitch the roof, satin outline, and beam details. It's 23, and there are 42 steps. I was like, oh, it seems like I'm almost done. No. I think I'm gonna take a little break after I do this particular step. This is quite a bit. It really is. When you start to stitch this, you start to realize it took a while to trim up these little beam things too. I got some of those little pieces behind there. All right, gonna get started on this. I'm taking a break. I'm glad I had that on time lapse because that was a pretty long stitch out. So it looks like the next step is, okay, so that was number 23. It stitched the roof, satin outline, and beam details. The next is going to stitch the door satin line, and then the door handle. And then there's going to be potted plants and leaf detail for number 26. So we'll start getting those next few steps ready. Okay, I took a little bit of a break because there's still so much to do on this block. All right, so I loaded my red, and it is going to do the satin stitch around the door. Okay, that was step number 24. Step number 25 is stitch the door handle fill. This is just going to be one little tiny thing, but I'm going to change it to black. Okay, it's going to be the door handle. This is going to be a very short stitch. Okay, and now it says stitch the potted plant leaf detail, number 26. Looks like it's just going to be two little things of two little specks, actually, it looks like, but I'm going to change it to green. Okay, I'm going to start this up. This is the leaves for, I think, the potted plants. Okay, now it looks like it's going to do the potted plants, which I'm just going to use my coffee for that. and then one red one. I guess that makes sense. So the first one I'm gonna load in this color blue, and then I'll do the other one red as they show, which makes sense for the 4th of July. Okay, this is gonna be the little blue flower. Number 28 and 29, and now stitch the foundation satin outline. So for number 30, it's the foundation satin outline, and I am going to load up the marshmallow for that. Okay, I have that loaded in there. Gonna get this stitching. I'm going to keep the same thread in because it's the stair placement line, which I believe, yeah, and then it says stitch the stairs placement line and then place the leather, and then going to stitch the stair tack down in detail and then trim close to the stitch line, and this is step 32. I'm going to keep that same color in. It doesn't matter if I change it to white. This is just a little bit of an off-white. So I'm going to put my white leather and let this get stitched here. It's gonna stitch the fuse detail. So let's see, this is the same. It's basically the same, and then I'm gonna change it to the silver to do the rocket spark detail, and then it's going to do the rocket just as it did in the first block, and then it's going to do that starburst. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get some of these done here. And I will come back after the rocket is done. Just doing the rocket detail. See, the stitches are just like, it's just a couple stitches. It kind of drives me crazy. And now it's going to stitch the body of the rocket. So I'm going to leave the metallic in because I'm going to be getting a piece of the white glitter. And it will be, as it was with the block one, gonna be the glitter on there. I'm gonna press it with my little iron, and then I'm going to do the red tip of the rocket. Okay, so this is gonna be white for the rocket body. Remember, if you're not gonna tape it, you gotta hold on to it pretty good because it does this triple stitch, and this triple stitch will make this kind of glide all over. You can see I could still get a couple more rocket bodies out of that. Okay, I'm gonna stitch the rocket tip there. I did my little iron and pressed my little rocket in place. Gonna do the same thing, just gonna hold this piece right there. Make sure that that's covered. Hold it good because it is going to do a triple stitch. I'm going to trim this up, press it with my little iron, and the next thing it's going to be is the red metallic to do the sparks, the fireworks. Okay, as you can see, the rocket is done, and now it's going to do, I put the metallic in, so I am going to go and I'm going to turn my stitches down because I do know that with the metallic, it gets fidgety there, right? Also, I did not use my threader. Same old stuff that I always say about metallics. And I still see like a little bit of the bobbin thread coming up, you know, and I don't know, I had this cleaned. I don't know, maybe he messed with the tension. I don't know. Let me get the silver in here. All right, gonna start the silver. And again, it's gonna be the gold. And then that's gonna be it. We are on the last step, and that is to sew the eyelets. So I'm going to take out this gold metallic that just finished, turn my stitches back up to 1050 so it doesn't stitch too slow. Well, that concludes this block. Look at the details on the house. One thing I've always liked about the detailing is the vinyl on the windows, and there's a porch, and there's these, you know, what do they call them? I don't know, gables. The door with the vinyl and the little light. There's an eyelet here, an eyelet here, an eyelet here, and an eyelet here. So there is going to be a flashing light. The lights that came in the thing are going to be flashing, and I believe they're different colors. So it really does at that time, and I'm hoping because I'm using the metallic that it may give a little, you know, a little shimmer, sparkle that may not have been there if I just used regular thread. I don't know. Okay, well, anyway, this concludes what I'm calling block number 4. So I think I'm going to go for an easier block tomorrow. I said I was going to go in a roll. So I just finished a general store. So tomorrow I'm going to do, it's the truck gas station block. So I don't think that that one's going to be as bad. It's the same size. It's a wider block. And then the next one after that isn't bad. It's just the tree, some fireworks, and then that's an embellishment. And then you've got the cottage. So moving right along. I'm doing a good job here. Today is Thursday and it is now 7:40. So I'm not quite sure what time I said I started, but I did take like an hour and a half break for dinner and such. 29,252 stitches and 52 minutes. There were 47 color changes. And there's the block on there. Woo, finished embroidering. That is a big smile. So yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe and come back soon. Have another block in another day or so.